AM 990 Business Spotlight, and this morning, let's talk growth. Triumph Bank, Tracy Strickland and her guests. Here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome to our studios. It's Tuesday. Yay! We love Tuesdays, mostly because Tracy Strickland is in the house to talk. Let's talk growth.
I know. Good morning, George. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great.
It's always good having you in, as you normally bring really good weather. I guess this is, what is this?
It's starting to feel like fall.
Yeah.
I love fall. October's my favorite month as well. I love when the leaves start turning.
You can sort of smell the fall in the air.
Cool. I know. My kids are bugging me on when I'm going to buy pumpkins for the front.
You haven't got pumpkins yet?
I haven't got pumpkins yet. So it was 90 degrees until this week, so I'll probably go get pumpkins.
And you've been traveling. I think it's good to get pumpkins early, so that way, you get your money's worth. Because they are expensive.
They are.
I know.
They are. It's crazy. But I love this.
Just the other day, and I'm going, golly, it's $20 for this one.
Yeah.
$20 for that one.
I know.
Oh Lord.
I'm
but
real
anyway,
excited about our guest this morning. I wanted to go ahead and introduce her because she was one of the first people I met when I got to Triumph. She's one of our original employees, one of our top lenders at the bank, and I'm real thrilled to have Lauren Jarrell here with us this morning. So thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. How are you?
I'm great.
I understand. So you've been there for 10 years.
10 and a half years now.
Oh, my goodness.
Time flies.
That is so good. We've got, certainly want to get into, you're in commercial banking. You also do a lot of give back. I understand you help rally the troops on a lot of the fundraising. And I know it's a fascinating business, and I want to start with finding out a little bit what it was like the first day that you walked in. Mm-hmm. And Will said, here we are. Yeah. Let's open a bank.
Well, they had done a lot of the hard work before I got there, but when I did get there, we weren't quite open yet, still waiting on the final paperwork and things like that. So we did sort of sit around and think, okay, is this ever going to happen? But we were ready and excited, and most of us had come from other banks that were much larger than Triumph, and so it was fun to start something brand new. And I had come from a much larger regional bank that had headquarters out of state, and all the local decision making was a huge deal for me to come to the bank, and just really loved being a part of starting something new and exciting.
Yeah, that's got to be so cool. And then now look, the bank is doing so well, and celebrating the 10th anniversary. When we come right back, we'll dig in a little bit deeper, Lauren, to what you exactly do for the bank. You're listening to Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland on AM 990.
KWAM on Memphis this morning, and we're talking growth with Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland and her guests, and here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome back to the studio. Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank and our host, Tracy Strickland. Welcome back, Tracy.
Well, I'm glad Lauren is here because she does so much for the bank as far as helping our customers grow. She's got a really neat niche that I wanted her to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
If you will, just talk about some of the type of clients that you best serve, and like maybe if there's a fun story on like a great success story that you were able to help with the customer.
I handle all the commercial real estate, so lots of construction, lots of fun projects that we work on. Yeah. I do primarily apartments and hotels. We also do office buildings, storage facilities, things like that. But right now, we have a lot of demand for new construction, which is always fun to watch something come out of the ground and really be a part of helping the customer, see the project through and see it be successful.
That's really so cool to be on that, like you said, to be able to watch it, come out of the ground. In your opinion, 10 years ago, what was it like compared to today?
There wasn't near as much growth. The construction is just really in high demand, which is great for the economy, great for contractors and things like that, and great for the banks too. Yeah. We have to be really careful that, we don't get into another problem like before. Right. Things had really slowed down, and that was really a good thing to get the demand back. But right now, the real estate market in Memphis, we do things all over the country with local developers here in Memphis, or we'll primarily serve just our Memphis customers. But we will follow a customer around the country and just and help them succeed, not only in Memphis.
That is really great that you can take it state to state, and do lending for projects that they're doing, around the country. And then also, I understand there's a lot more, since the terrible recession, the bank crash that we had. What was that, about
2007,
yeah.
2008. Yeah.
But that the restrictions it's much more complicated.
Yes, the regulations are so much more than just you talking about 10 years ago. And then when I think about when I started 15 years ago, how different it is and how many more hoops we have to jump through and things like that. But it makes our job more difficult, but it's a constant changing regulatory environment.
And allowing the customers to understand that too. Because if they've been a contractor for 20 years, they're probably like, well, it didn't take this long. And so it's, Lauren is really good with working with the customers and explaining, that whole process and helping them understand that it may take us a tiny bit longer. I mean, our goal is always to say yes to them and to help them, get into their projects. But we want it to be, on the backside, what they see, it's just a real seamless process, of course.
What do you see is there a great attitude about Memphis now, or is it?
There is. I meet with people every day that have come in from out of state that hear about Memphis, and the value that most out of state investors talk about the value in Memphis, and it's so well known across the country for people who have funds to invest. They want to come to Memphis, and they've heard about, and a lot of it multifamily. The value is just there, and they can really make a good return. But I talk to people all the time, and I always ask them, how'd you hear about Memphis? And it really is, it is well known among the real estate world across the country.
That's crazy good. What about some, what's a good story that you've had? Anything come to your mind that of a customer that, were, maybe it's a local business or something that was, that you really helped them fulfill their dream?
Well, I'm lucky that I have a great group of customers. I'm a little bit different from a lot of the other lenders in the bank just because there's a pretty finite group of developers in Memphis that we like doing business with, and I've done business with a lot of them for my whole career, and so I really have gotten to know them well and just do repeat projects with them, and so that's always fun to be dealing with somebody that and you have a good history with.
Absolutely.
But I think as far as how much change there has been in banking, and with like the regulatory environment we talked about, customers these days seem to be much more appreciative when you get to the closing table that you've pressed and gotten it there and we're finally closing and they're able to move forward. But they do understand the changes that have happened, and most of them are sophisticated enough to understand it, but they seems like more appreciative because the process is a little bit tougher to get through.
Absolutely. Lauren Jarrell, Senior VP for Commercial Banking at Triumph Bank. We're going to take a quick break. When we come right back, we'll talk about some of the great things that Triumph Bank is doing, and Lauren's helping push some of that stuff through.
For that, yes.
Yes. You're listening to AM 990.
Let's Start Growth with Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland and her guests in the studio. Here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome back to Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank and Tracy Strickland. Triumph Bank, what a wonderful bank it is. It is your local community bank. I want to remind everybody how they can get in touch with this great bank. TriumphBank.com, fabulous website, has a lot of tips, information about all the different departments and good things going on. Phone number to reach them is 901-333-8800, and 4 locations all over Memphis, right, Tracy?
Yes, in East Memphis, right around the corner. Right by Saddle Creek, West Farmington and Germantown, out on Poplar in Collierville, and on Airline Road in Arlington.
Really great places, and they're so friendly when you come in. It's that personal touch when you want it right there, and in providing great information. But the other thing I love about the bank, besides being on the cutting edge with technology and great service, is giving back to the community. You guys do a great job with that. Just won a big award recognition.
We did. We were honestly pretty shocked. We started one of our community partners is the Chickasaw Council of the Boy Scouts, a local group of the Boy Scouts of America, and they have a division that is just dedicated to the kiddos who just don't have as much as others, and they call it their emerging markets troops. And we adopted 2 of those troops this past year. One was with our other community partner being Hampton Christian Academy. They meet on streets, ministries out on Graham. And then there's another troop at Grizzlies Preparatory School, an awesome little school downtown, right around the corner from AutoZone Park. And so last summer, we reached out to the team and told them about the project. We wanted to bring financial education. They have different merit badges, obviously. Not being a Boy Scout, but obviously I know you can earn various merit badges, and there's some that you have to earn in order to earn the Eagle Scout badge, and that one is called the Personal Financial Management project that they have to complete. So after doing some research, we found the curriculum we wanted to use last year, and it was actually from the FDIC. It's which is crazy, but they do some wonderful things, and they created a program called Money Smart for young adults. And so Lauren was one of our first volunteers for that program. We had 10 team members who dedicated the whole school year to work monthly with each of these troops. So we split our team up. So there's usually about 5 of us meeting monthly for an hour or so. And so Lauren and the team members that went with her work with the Grizzlies Prep troop. And so I would love for Lauren to talk maybe a little bit about what she loved about the project. I know that we pretty much laughed throughout the hour because the kids are so awesome and they're so eager to learn.
It was really, really a great experience. It was a lot of fun to get to know the boys and to help them learn the curriculum. We sort of strayed from the curriculum at times when it was appropriate, and they always had a lot of questions, which was really, really fun. So I'm a huge champion for financial literacy for kids. I've always been surprised that it's not taught in the schools. I was a finance major in college, and so I had to take personal finance, and I was always surprised that my friends who were pre-med and going to law school never had to take that as a just prerequisite to life. And so I was excited to do it with Tracy and be a part of it. And the boys learned so much, and you could tell by the looks on their faces they were hearing a lot of this stuff for the first time and watching it make sense. And we helped them just kind of through the whole process of down from how important your credit score is for getting a car loan when you turn 16 to investing and saving money and 401ks and things like that. We had them put together budgets and come back and show us how it worked, and they took their birthday money, and it was just creating awareness for them that they had never really heard about before. And it was really, really fun to get to know the kids.
I can tell by the smile on her face.
Oh my God, I love it. I love hearing her talk. But you can hear the passion about it, and that's what I love when Lauren has truly become a champion of this, and also for our other partner being Hampton Christian Academy. I've always brought my kids, and we came and brought them dinner to the residential students, and so we brought them. It was like December last year, and
it was cold. I remember that.
Yeah, Lauren, bring your kiddos. Let's go. And so they have dorms, and so we had dinner in the cafeteria, and all of a sudden I'm looking around. I'm like, where's your daughter? And she's like, oh, and like immediately has already made best friends with this little group of girls, and like literally they've been friends for life. And then her son was talking with some kids, and then we went and toured the girls' dorm, and it was so amazing. Then they wanted to go see the boys' dorm, so we walked over there, and all of a sudden I see Lauren's daughter is just like crying. I said, "What's wrong, sweet angel?" And she's like, "Am I not going to see my friends again?" I said, "We're going to go over there right now." And we went over there, and they started playing, and it was just the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Her son jumped on a bed and was talking sports and everything, just common themes of little boys. And just, you just have to go to that school once, and your heart just like, it's like, I don't know, it just expands, and it's so cool. And I remember thanking Lauren later that night, and I'll never forget her comment. She's like, I just got home, and my son just told me it was the best 2 hours of his life.
Oh, wow. See, that's incredible. Well,
and
guys
you know what? I mean,
that's
what it's all about.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's all about.
Yeah.
You guys are really doing it. Triumph Bank, one of our local community banks in the Mid-South. Lauren, thank you for coming in today.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, you
Thanks
are very welcome.
Thanks for this opportunity, George.
Oh, it's been great having you, Tracy, and Tracy Strickland with Triumph Bank. Don't forget to give them a call at 901-333-8800 or triumphbank.com. You're listening to AM 990.